You ever have a perfect moment shattered so hard you can actually hear it? That's what happened to us. Picture this. My wife's waving to our daughter, her hair whipping wild in the salt air, sunlight ricocheting off the white hull of the SS Elysium. And for a split second, life is golden, graduation trip, dream week at sea, all that corny postcard stuff. 20 minutes later, 3 security guards closing on us because some woman in a rhinestone visor and a death grip on a clipboard is shrieking, "They are not authorized to be here." If you've ever wondered what happens when an HOA dictator gets trapped on a floating city, let me tell you, sunshine doesn't stand a chance against a self-appointed queen. I just stood there, mute, staring at her name tag. Karen Mitchell, guest liaison. The guards apologized after. The captain even tried to laugh it off, but that sting from the crowd, it stuck. My wife, she'd spent weeks planning every outfit. My daughter just wanted the pool, and all I wanted was a chair, some coffee, and 5 minutes of not thinking about work or Wi-Fi. Instead, we get this empty lounge section by the family pool. An upgrade, the crew said, and I remember thinking, this is too easy. 5 minutes later, I meet the reason. Karen blows in like a storm in a sundress, her voice slicing through the air. "Excuse me, young lady, those seats are for platinum guests only." My kid freezes. I try explaining the upgrade, but Karen's already reaching for her radio. Before I even finish my sentence, she's summoning backup. The guards show up, sunglasses coming down all around, folks getting ready for a show. One whispers, another one. She's out again. They check our cards, legit, and the lead officer tells Karen they're cleared for this deck. She doesn't even blink, just folds her arms and says, "They must have printed those wrong." That officer's patience is at the breaking point, and he just says, "Please enjoy your day." I thank him and walk my family away, but inside I'm boiling. It's not about the chair anymore. It's about being humiliated in front of 100 strangers, while the real fraud walks away untouched. For the rest of the day, Karen struts up and down the deck like she owns it, writing on her clipboard, whispering to bartenders, flashing her crew's event coordinator badge, which I swear looked like it came from a middle school craft fair. My wife tells me to let it go, but I can't. Years of engineering taught me to spot the seams. Her badge font doesn't match the crew's. She always ducks eye contact with real officers, and she spends more time by restricted doors than the maintenance guys. She's not management. She's just pretending. That night, we're at the welcome dinner. Captain greets us all, and Karen practically tackles him with a hug. The captain looks stunned, forces a polite laugh, and she turns our way, smiling like she just won prom queen. My wife kicks me under the table. "Ignore her," she's saying. But then the captain's assistant leans in, whispers to him, and both of them shoot a look at Karen's badge. That flicker of confusion, that was the seed. Her fake authority just met the real deal, and for a split second, Karen looks rattled. After dinner, while the ship's dancing under the stars, I'm up on the upper decks, just walking. I see her slip through maintenance, hatch-marked, authorized personnel only. I give a minute, peek in, and, sure enough, it's a makeshift command center. Decorations, printed invites, boxes labeled private guest lists. She's built herself a little kingdom out of a storage closet. I snap a photo and leave. That night, lying awake while my wife sleeps, I connect the dots. She manipulates the staff, controls guest lists, and is probably RSVPing herself to every VIP event on board. Classic HOA syndrome, just now on a ship. Next morning at breakfast, Karen strolls up, all fake smile. "Hope there's no hard feelings about yesterday," she says, loud enough for everyone to hear. "We just have to keep standards up, you know." She wants me to crack, to get angry, but I just stare back and say, "You're right. Standards matter." She falters for a second, then starts bragging about the captain's gala she's coordinating. I just nod. Inside, the plan is forming. If she wants attention, I'll give her all she can handle, just not the flavor she's expecting. By mid-afternoon, the rumors are spreading. A waiter calls her a mess. Mitchell from Florida. The entertainment director tells someone the volunteers aren't real staff. Karen is useful, not official. Management doesn't realize just how deep her little empire goes. My wife catches me smiling, which she says means I'm planning something. I say, not yet. But truth is, I already know. I'm going to dismantle her kingdom piece by piece. That night, I'm out on the balcony, staring at the calm sea. Down below, Karen is probably toasting herself. But storms don't announce themselves. Sometimes they start with nothing but quiet. The second day, the whole ship smells like fresh pastries, but I can't taste a thing. My wife calls me out for being distant, and she's right. I'm watching Karen treat the ship like her private suburb, clipboard in hand, bossing around crew and guests, and I realize she's not just a bully. She's a full-blown magician, and I want to know the trick. I shadow her. She's got 2 phones, one for photos and one tapped into crew comms, or at least it looks that way. I hear her lying to a guest about working with the event department. I need to know, do the staff respect her, or just tolerate her? So I slide a tip to a young steward. He leans in, whispers, "She's not staff, sir. Just volunteers." Manager lets her help because rich guests like it. That's it. Karen's power is all smoke and mirrors. I just need to pull the curtain. Later that night, while the band plays, I spot Karen sneaking back to her office. This time, I wait and slip in after. It's gotten more elaborate. String lights, a mirror, spreadsheets of names and allergies, even cabin numbers. Someone's feeding her partial guest data. She offers help for inside info. Classic manipulator. I take more photos, careful not to disturb a thing. Show my wife, who jokes I'm Sherlock Holmes at sea. I grin. It's not about revenge anymore. It's principle. Next morning, we dock at the first island. Karen is right there, faking authority at the excursion booth, promising to confirm priority seating. The staff won't contradict her in public, and now I know why. She operates on silence and confusion. Nobody wants a scene, so she fills the void. Back on board, I test her limits. Ask if she can reserve a gala table. She puffs up, says, "Usually invite only, but since you were a good sport, I'll see what I can do." Translation: she's using this to boost herself. My wife says, "You're baiting her." I say, "I'm giving her rope." That evening, I chat up the entertainment director, Lewis. When I show him the photos of Karen's office, his jaw drops. That's not supposed to exist. Now we have an ally. Karen thinks she's untouchable. She's never faced anyone who prefers patience to shouting, who watches quietly and waits. The calm before a storm scares folks like her. Day 3, the cruise settles into its rhythm. Karen, in her wide hat and badge, walks around like a queen. But people only tolerate her, never respect her. All it'll take is one push, and it'll come crashing down. She starts assigning crew zones, lecturing bartenders about guest placement consistency, which makes 0 sense. The staff rolls their eyes the second she walks away. My wife says she's digging her own grave. I just need to hand her the shovel. I track her patterns. Every hour, she ducks out for 15 minutes, swaps clipboards, rotates between stashes. I catch her making fake name badges, printing guest credentials, triple booking herself for the gala. Meanwhile, my daughter is laughing at viral videos of Karen scolding people for flip-flops. The internet already hates her. My wife watches me plan, knows I'm going to act. When I decide something's wrong, I fix it. That night at the bar, Lewis and I plot. He says management needs undeniable proof before confronting her. So we wait for the captain's gala, her moment to shine. We'll make it public, undeniable, and let her expose herself. Next morning, Karen's back at it, correcting napkin placements, lecturing about etiquette. Her pet waiter Felix admits, terrified, that she forged her badge. That's all I need. At a trivia event, she hijacks the mic, explains the rules over the actual MC, and the staff just stands there, afraid to contradict her. The real cruise director whispers to security, who shrugs. It's out of control. That night, I assemble every bit of evidence, put in a file called Unauthorized Operations, and have Lewis sync it to the ship system. I tell my wife, it's not about revenge. It's about making sure she can't do this again. Fourth day, Karen's everywhere, her ego at full blast. She hosts an etiquette workshop nobody asked for, tells adults how to walk the halls. I start quietly spreading the truth. She's not crew, just a volunteer. Passengers react, some shocked, some delighted. The more people question her, the less control she has. I document her fake lounge signs, printed with copied logos. Lewis says those lounges are supposed to be open. I say, leave them. More evidence. As the gala approaches, Lewis confirms the plan. Karen is boasting she'll make an announcement at the pre-gala briefing. Perfect. We'll give her the biggest audience. She shows up in a silver gown, grabs the mic. Thanks, management. Lewis hits a button. The screen flickers. Unauthorized access detected. Karen freezes. Guests whisper. Captain's assistant approaches. The curtain is falling. Next night, the real gala. She's in gold, louder than ever. She interrupts the captain to say she'll do special recognitions. Lewis nods, I nod, and the show begins. As she bloviates about ship excellence, Lewis flips on the slideshow. Her fake office, her printed badges, her bogus email, a side-by-side of her badge and the real one. Gasps. Karen tries to laugh it off, but it's over. The captain steps up, calmly says, "You are not employed by this vessel or its parent company." The laughter ripples through the room. Karen's supporters evaporate. I step forward, hand the captain a USB with every file, every photo. Karen points at me. "You're behind this." I just smile. She's escorted away. Later, by the balcony, my wife joins me, says, "That was cruel." I shake my head. "No, that was balance." Through the glass, we watch Karen arguing with security, shrinking with every second. The captain thanks me, tells me she's been reported before. Now it's over. The next morning, the whole ship breathes easier. Karen's confined to a guest room, claiming she was framed. Corporate gets the files. Compliance is reviewing. I don't want her arrested, just unmasked. For people like her, losing the illusion is punishment enough. Passengers swap Karen's stories over breakfast. Some are amazed, some laugh. But underneath is the truth. She thrived on borrowed authority, and it's finally run out. The captain calls me in, says she's banned from every ship, every partner line, forever. As we pack to leave, I see Karen arguing with officers, still blaming everyone but herself. She tries to threaten me. "You'll regret this." But I tell her, "Karen, there's no one left to call." She storms off, dignity in tatters. On the dock, she gets escorted out, sunglasses on, head high but pride gone. Lewis says, "That's mercy." She could have faced charges. For once, the door is welded shut. The system she gamed is now her wall. As she walks away, she glances back at the ship, a stiff nod. Not anger, not apology, just recognition that it's done. I feel peace for the first time since boarding. The last morning, a company rep thanks US, gives my family lifetime gold upgrades. My daughter asks if Karen will ever learn. Maybe, I say. But people like her collect grudges, not lessons. As we leave, my wife asks if I'll tell this story forever. I say, not forever. Just long enough to remind people dignity wins slower, but lasts longer. Back home, unpacked, I sit on the porch under bright stars. The best kind of revenge isn't loud. It's the peace that comes when truth quietly wins. Somewhere, Karen's spinning her stories, but for the first time, her stage is gone, her audience moved on, and only the lesson remains. No matter how fancy the badge or loud the voice, real authority doesn't need to be faked. And that, right there, is a story worth sharing. So let me ask you, if you saw someone like her in your neighborhood, your office, your HOA, would you speak up? Or would you stay silent and hope someone else steps in? Tell me below. Does justice need to be loud to be real, or is quiet truth enough? Drop your stories, your own Karens, your thoughts on what it really means to stand up. And if you like this story, share it so no one ever has to deal with another fake queen again.